I did go long today on one metal. Probably people are going to go, what metal is that, right? Silver? No. Was it palladium? No. Platinum. Platinum. It's right here on a chart here. PT right next to gold. And, you know, the ratio, well, let me just show you on Kiko here. They got the ratio again. Gold is 5% more than platinum. And I know at one time back in the end of December 2011, gold was 15% more than platinum. The most insane ratio I've ever seen, and fundamentally makes absolutely no sense. So much for the fundamentals. Fundamentals do play out at one point in time. But my game is not to try to buy something fundamentally when it's still going to be going down, even if it doesn't make sense. I want to try to get the best price. And, you know, right now, I know platinum was down at $13.98. And I have this little fear in the back of my head everything's going to crash. There's still something coming up. I'm actually a little bit on a short position, small short position on gold, right? Do I think gold is going down fundamentally? No. It's like, say, I'm actually more long, but say I'm wrong and I'm thinking, well, I'm actually sitting more on cash too. I'm not doing anything that much. I'm long basically, but I'm still kind of holding back. I decided to get platinum today on non-leverage because of the ratio to gold. And you just wait. Just wait. Platinum is going to be a lot more than gold. Again, it's much more rare. They had to pull things out of stockpiles this year. And can you imagine walking into a jewelry store and saying, yeah, I'm going to buy a platinum piece because it's a lot less money than gold? That's not going to happen for long. You know how many people are going to be buying platinum over, like, say, white gold? Platinum is far more desirable than white gold. And actually in platinum, there is quite a good percentage of it that's used in jewelry versus like palladium. So I think that's, you know, they just can't hold this price down that long. They had to actually take platinum out of stockpiles in South Africa, and they had shortages. Fundamentally, this metal should have never went down. I know the silver crowd is like, you know, everything's a conspiracy against silver. I don't know what's going on behind the scenes, to tell you the truth, with a lot of this stuff. But, you know, you could very easily argue there's a conspiracy against platinum, too. And also, just want to repeat again, back in 1979, when you had the blow-off top in silver, platinum and palladium did about as good as silver. So, I think all three of those industrial metals are going to do fine. So I bought some platinum today on non-leverage. You know, and I'm not totally afraid of electronic funds. I don't think the sky's going to fall. And I just want to put a little common sense out there. Usually these people that are so afraid of electronic funds, well, they're making money marketing the sky is falling, and they're taking electronic money for it as they say the sky is falling. You know, there's something facetious about the whole deal. That a lot of these people say the sky is falling and they're afraid of every market there is out there. Yeah, you know, while they're all, you know, they're basically playing the fears of the middle class, you know. I kind of pointed this out before. But what I did today was I bought some platinum on non-leverage. I think it was PPLT fund. I believe that was the fund. And, yeah, the share is a little more expensive than some other stuff, but there's no games going on where there's going to be a premium on the fund and somebody's going to buy more platinum on the market and drive the price down. So, I don't know, I'm talking about Mr. Sprott's fund. I really kind of got annoyed at that garbage. And I'm not sure if I'm going to use that fund, period, at all. I might use some other silver fund. And I do plan to get into silver again. But like I said, I have it physically. I also have some of the stocks in silver. Now, will I lose on this platinum thing? No, because it's a matter of how long you hold it. How the heck is platinum going to stay below gold? It's impossible. In the long term, it's impossible. Is gold going to go way up? Yes. So platinum's going to go way up. So is silver. Anyway, this is the chart on platinum, and yes, it did have this ridiculously hard pullback below $1,400. back at the end of December. And, you know, I kind of expected things to pull back a little bit faster than they are right now. So I'm realizing that there's a hell of a lot of pressure bubbling up behind these metals. And they're probably going to be way the hell up in value sometime this summer. They're going to explode this year. They are. Platinum's going to be one of them too. So I don't care. I mean, I think you can't lose. It's just a matter of trying to pick when you get in. I think there's still some downside potential, and that's kind of weird. Like I kept my double short on gold, but say that's a losing position. Overall, I'm more long. Now, if I start losing on some of the long positions and I'm winning on that short position, I'll sell the short position. It's kind of like a little bit of a protective short. You know, it's almost like counterintuitive, but it's a matter of, you know, I'm kind of leaning towards the long side. But like I stated before, I am overly bullish on these metals. My mind is tainted by the fundamentals. It's just like a lot of the silver cheerleaders are. They're very much tainted by the fundamentals, and they don't look at a lot of other things, and they think some people think everything's one big conspiracy orchestrated mainly by Ben Bernanke. I don't buy into that stuff, and I'd sure like to know what they would do if they were in Ben Bernanke's shoes. Because, you know, I had to point out a couple of times that the economy of the United States is really not totally dependent upon what kind of coinage we have in our pockets. It's production of goods and services, and actually a lot of the economy is not going to be saved by silver coins. It's going to be saved by deregulation of all the bureaucratic garbage that stifles everybody from starting businesses. That's 90% of it versus the coinage itself. And I actually also want to point out again that if the Congress is the one issuing the money, even if it's paper money, and it's the Congress that's issuing it, and I don't like the idea of paper money exactly, but in practicality, it's a little easier to carry around. You know, that's why they got to that reason in the first place. If Congress is the one issuing the money, and it's not in the form of a loan, it doesn't come about in the form of a loan, doesn't have any interest attached to it, and say it's paper money, and it's not coming from a private bank called the Federal Reserve Cartel, or whatever you want to call that thing, it's coming from the Congress, that would actually work. That would actually work. You know, because the people actually have control over the Congress, and people will learn very fast not to issue too much money too fast because they're going to destroy their own wealth. You know, if they actually have, you know, power more directly over what's going on with the money supply. And they don't. That's really the problem. It's not so much the gold and silver, like I said, it's the fact that interest is attached to every damn thing that comes in the form of money, and people always have to pay that interest, and it's impossible to do. And number two, it is excessive regulation against businesses that's stifling production of goods and services in the United States. The metals are going to protect people's wealth. And like I said, I got in today on the electronic markets in PPLT long on platinum. The physical electronic, if you want to call it that. Yeah, I got some physical platinum too. You know, so big deal, right? But I'm not like, I don't think the sky's going to fall, you know, right away. And if it does and all the electronic markets go away, well, we're in big trouble. Besides, I think you're going to have a lot more problems than that. I mean, that probably would mean something beyond that's catastrophic, and you're not going to be able to go up on YouTube and find out what's going on, because that'll be the end. But let's not think about that garbage, and the guys that are pushing that are basically snake oil. That's why I'm really sick of that garbage. Anyway, this is about platinum, right? And I think, you know, people might think, well, platinum, what about silver? Well, how about this? It comes from the Spanish word platina, meaning little silver. It's little silver, but it costs a hell of a lot more. And, you know, the other thing I like about it, it doesn't tarnish, really. It does not oxidize in air at any temperature. So how's that? So you keep platinum. Platinum jewelry is actually a lot far superior to white gold, because white gold is actually, it's got some nickel in it, right? And usually the nickel kind of bleaches out and it gets kind of like, it doesn't look as nice and stuff like that. Then it doesn't look like that white appearance like they want, that white gold. And sometimes what they'll do is they'll rhodium plate the jewelry, and then that wears off and you have to be replated. Platinum is a very good type of jewelry. So can you imagine going into a store, at current prices right now, platinum is less than gold. Again, getting more or less than gold, which is crazy. Could you imagine going into a jewelry store and always being able to demand a platinum piece for less than a gold piece? And when up something that's probably almost like 30 times more rare than gold that's consumed in industry? I kind of doubt that. So, like I said, no leverage. The bet is going to win at some point, even if it gets slammed down. But if it gets slammed down, I'm still kind of short on one metal. I'll just sell that one little short off and just ride it out, and then I'll buy with the cash I have going into the long position. I don't have a crystal ball. If I had a crystal ball, I'd be more wealthy than George Soros, and George Soros would be my errand boy, that would be nice. But anyway, that's all I got to say for now. That's what I did. That was my move for today. Bought some platinum. Went long on platinum. The ratio is gold is 5% more than gold is 5% more than platinum today. Metals were going up. Don't know what's going to happen. There could be a crash in the next couple weeks or whatever. But I'm still mainly in cash. Okay, and I went long only on. No leverage, none of that. So it'll win. Just wait, it'll win.